Hello and welcome to the lecture series on Railways, Harbour, Tunneling and Airport for the subject code 18CV645, Module 3, Session 1. So, in this Module 3, we are going to discuss about the harbour and tunnel engineering. So, in the first part, we are going to discuss about a definition of some basic terms related to the planning and design of an harbour, requirements of an harbour, the classification of harbour, location and designing, principles of harbour layout and terminal facilities, along with the coastal structures, inland water transport, that is IWT, wave action on coastal structure and coastal protection work. So, these are going to be covered in harbour syllabus has been concerned. Moving to the next part of the module 3, that is tunneling. So, in this tunneling we are going to introduce some of the basic terms related to the tunneling, sizes and shape of the tunnel, tunnel lining methods and also the tunneling methods in soils and different strata has been concerned. Then the importance of tunnel drainage and tunnel ventilation. So, this is the portion related to the module 3. So, in this module 3 there is no numerical problem has been concerned. Always the module 3 is going to be having theory part with respect to both harbour and tunnel has been concerned. So, in this session we are going to discuss about the significance of water as a mode of transport, their advantages and disadvantages, limitations with respect to the water as a mode of transport, few definitions which is related to the requirement and planning of an harbour has been concerned. Next is going to be the requirement of harbour and lastly the references. Moving on to the significance of water as a mode of transport. So, as we know that whenever it is going to be helpful to transport a bulk cargo for a longer distance, this is the first significance or the importance with respect to water as a mode of transport. It is always going to be the cheapest mode as compared to the other modes of transport. Apart from that one, the both export and import for the goods with other countries which will turn the growth of GDP of the nation. Apart from that one, we are going to be having the strategic option with respect to the water as a mode of transport. So, in India it is going to be covered by 2/3 portion of our land on the external side, so are the peripheries with the sea. Hence, water transport is playing a very crucial role as a mode of transport with respect to the bulk cargo and also with respect to export and import. Apart from that one, there is also a strategic importance. What are the advantages with respect to water as a mode of transport if you are going to be taken into account? So, as we discussed earlier, it is going to be always the cheapest mode of transport as compared to the other one. It is always going to be having a loader carrying capacity in terms of a metric ton. So, strategy that is with respect to national with respect to defense has been concerned. So, it develops foreign trade. Apart from that one, it also develops home trade and also the commerce. Apart from that one, it is going to have a good development and relationship with other countries or international relationship. So, these are all the advantages as concerned with respect to water as a mode of transport. So, as we know that every mode is having its own advantage and a disadvantage. So, moving on to the some disadvantage of water as a mode of transport. So, it is going to be slower in speed as it is compared to the other mode. The speed of a travel is going to be lesser as compared to the other mode. So, it is going to be very much affected by the hurricanes has been concerned. So, as we know that water mode of transport or vessels or ships are going to be always depends upon the wave and intensity of a wave. So, hence there is any variations with respect to the tides. So, always there is a variations with respect to the operations has been concerned. So, apart from that one, is there if any fluctuations in a water level is also going to cause the movement of vessels or a ship, hence that is also one of the disadvantage as compared with respect to other modes. So more chances of attack by the other countries, or what we call as a sea pirate. So that is going to be the one of the disadvantage with respect to water as a mode of transport. So as we know that both advantages and disadvantages, there is a limitation to operate the water as a transport. So as it requires a water, hence it is going to be having a limited area of operation. So it is not going to be continuous as in case of road or railways. So that is a surface mode of transport. So it requires a water and a minimum depth of a water. That's what area of operation is always going to be limited. So apart from that one, the routes are going to be circuitous and also a zigzag. It is not going to be straight as in case of other mode. Always, as I said, one more limitation is going to be slower in a speed, hence requires more time of traveling. There is a blockades of a waterway, so that is also one of the limitation. So in case of storms and hurricane, there might be a stoppage of ships or a vessel. So that's what that is also a limitation. So seasonal characteristics, high intensity and frequency of accident, if you taken into account, so that is also going to be one of the limitation with respect to water as a mode of transport. So moving on to the definitions of some of the basic terms we are regularly using with respect to the harbor has been concerned. So we begin with the first definition, the harbor. What exactly the harbor? A harbor in a primary sense, it is a place or a refuge or a rest, so where which it is provide the safety and hospitality for the vessels, or it provides a protection from the violent sea. That is a place. So it means that harbor is going to be a sheltered area upon which the vessels can be protected from the external agency, or also that is a place where in which the both the activities like passenger or the cargo activities are going to be taken place. So that place is known as the harbor. So harbor refers to what I said, it is a shelter sheet of a water where which the vessels are going to be anchored. So in other terms, it is a protected area from the wind or any other external agency for the safer operations of a vessel. So that term is called as harbor. So next, in conjunction with the harbor, we are using another term that is called as a port. Port is a connecting link between the sea and a land traffic. So wherever it is going to be providing a connectivity between the water side and a land side, so that is going to be called as a port. A port is a gateway between the land from the sea and also from sea to the land. That is a thing. Originally the word port is been derived from the Latin word porte. It means a gate. So it means signifying an entrance. So that is a Latin word. It is been derived from the porte. So now it is called as a port. It is a point of a change from a land carriage to a sea carriage and vice versa. So that is a land side and what I said, it is a water side. Ships bringing from both the passenger and goods are going from overseas, and they discharge them within a persistent of the port for conversion to the inland. So apart from that one, a port is a commercial harbor with all the type of infrastructure it is being provided. So that system is known to be a port. So next technical term we are been using in terms of harbor has been concerned, it is called as a dock. Docks are enclosed area for berthing of a vessel, as it facilitates for both the loading and unloading activity for the cargo, or otherwise the embarkation and disembarkations of a passenger which took place in that particular area, or in case of any sorts of a repair to the vessel or renovation activity or fueling or oiling or painting of or otherwise sometimes watering of a vessels are going to be take place. So such area or the protected area having a berthing for the vessels is known to be a docks. Docks are going to be of a two type, maybe of a wet type of a dock or a wet dock. So a dry dock is going to be provided. So always there will be of two types of a docks has been concerned. So in the next as in the continuation we are going to explain what exactly mean by those things. Next technical terms we are been using is a tides. It is a matter of a common observation, as we see that whenever we are going to be having a sea, there will be a oscillations in the wave. It undergoes twice within 24 hours of a clock has been concerned. There may be a significance rise and significance fall. So that difference it is been evolved due to the gravitational attraction and also with respect to sun and a moon on the parts of a earth. So this phenomena is going to be known as a tide. So tide is nothing but there is a rise or a fall of a wave or the level of a sea with respect to the gravitational pull between the earth and the sun and the moon. So that phenomena is known to be a tides. So next technical term is a wave. So wave is nothing but an undulations which is caused on the surface of a sea water. So it may be due to the external agency like a wind. So it is going to be raised in a curvilinear caused by the surface water. Waves are might be of a two types. So one is going to be called waves of oscillation and another one is going to be waves of translation. So these two wave energies are going to be utilized for the proper movement of a vessels in the sea. So apart from that one, the waves are also going to be important with respect to the intensity of a loading consideration or the impact with respect to the other structural component designing. Next is going to be called as a satellite port. As I said in the previous slides, what exactly the port. So another technical terms we are been using in the form of satellite port. So it is a small port which is being subordinate to the major port, and it depends upon the major port for higher order facilities. So it may be any sorts of port facilities. So it depends upon the adjunct higher order port. So that system of porting is called as satellite port. Moving on to the same definitions of harbor. So we will going to refine it once again. So it is going to be defined as a shelter area of the sea in which the vessels could be launched, built or taken for a repair, or could seek sometimes a refuge in case of storms or unfavorable condition, as it provides a space for loading or unloading of a cargo with respect to passengers also. Sometimes a harbor is also going to be defined as a water area. Partly it is being enclosed and protected from storm to provide safe and suitable accommodation for the ship which is seeking for its refuge, supplying or repairing or transfer of a cargo. So this is how we are going to define the word harbor. So moving on to the next concept, requirements of a harbor. So we defined the word harbor. Harbor is a shelter area upon which it is been providing a berth for vessels with respect to uncertain environment or for the ease of operation. So it requires some of the things. So as we know that it is to be protected, hence it should require some shelter. So as it is taking a berthing, so it requires some of accommodation, and so on the land side and sea side it has been connected, hence it needs some of the terminal facility. So in the broader sense, requirement of a harbors are going to be in the form of sheltering or the shelter, accommodation and terminal facilities. Moving on to the shelter, what are the requirements with respect to shelter has been concerned. So this is an essential requirement of ship during a slack and a rough season against the violent sea waves. So it means it is a sheltering has to be required. So ships has to be sheltered for many days in a year when it is not going to be possible to load or unload it. So that's what it needs to be protected. So in the undeveloped countries, ships are going to be compelled by circumstances to lie in the distance of to the shores or to load or unload to the goods by means of a country boat. So, that is what it requires some sheltering. However, this is going to be possible during a calm sea or otherwise a fine weather is going to be available, or during a rough weather. So, as we know that some of the activities are going to be suspended, hence it requires a shelter. Obviously, so this process or sheltering process is going to be what we say it is a delayed and expensive process, hence it may be sometimes a wastage of a labor. In the absence of a facility, say for there is no proper anchorage with respect to safety operation, so hence it requires a sheltering. So, or otherwise, so shelter is going to be a essential requirement for the ship with respect to all sorts of activities as compared with the unfavorable circumstances or with respect to operational point of view. Next is the accommodation. So, accommodation is related to the facility or the opportunities which is required for carrying of a trade operation. So, this might be including a convenient or continuous accessibility of a ship. So, it may be in the form of loading or unloading of a goods or with respect to the passenger. So, that is with respect to the accommodation. So, this is also a part of requirement for an harbor. Moving on to the other examples, so say for example, other requirements as the accommodations has been concerned. So, it requires a quay for berthing of ships along the side. It requires warehouses or the shed for temporary deposit of a good, or it requires cranes for lifting or handling of a heavy goods and handling between the goods between the ships and onshore. So, it requires a service road for the transport of a goods. So, it may be in the form of a roads or a railways with appropriate vehicles for each of the systems. Repairing workshops has to be required, and passenger facilities and side many other essential facilities with respect to the trading has been concerned. So, those are going to be with respect to accommodation. So, apart from that one, so some more facilities are the requirement it is been required with respect to the terminal facilities has been concerned. So, it requires intermodal and feeder transport to transport whatever the sort of goods it needs to be transported in the ship, or it is being taken away from the ships to the inland. So, coastal structures like quays, jetties and breakwater has to be required. Transit shed and warehouses to keep the goods for a longer time with respect to the loading or unloading activity. Appliances and equipment for handling of a cargo. Repairing shops and ancillary services. Dredging equipment. So, it's a regular process to maintain the drift of a water. So, dredging is going to be required. Mooring accessories, navigational aid, depending upon the type of a cargo and material it is being transported. So, some of times we required some cold storage facility. Other service it needs to be required with respect to complete operations of ships has been concerned. Then wearing of a helmet, or so this is going to be a minor thing. So, these are going to be requirement with respect to terminal facilities has been concerned. So, with this note we are going to be ending this session with few of the definitions. In summary, we had discussed about a few definitions with respect to the harbor, terminal facilities has been concerned, then the port. Apart from that one, what are the requirement it has been required for any type of an harbor, and also the technical terms. So, to prepare these sessions we had refer the same standard textbook as mentioned in the syllabus. Apart from that one, the Wikipedia as the web references.